A lot of freight contracts are built like the market doesn't change, but fuel, capacity, and pricing prove otherwise every single week. Normally, Central Dispatch is around 50,000 loads that reside on their board. Last week, it was closer to 100,000, meaning the market, the highest volume of units sitting that we've ever seen, and the largest number of carriers booking per day is really taking place in the last couple of days. You had that DOT Blitz week last week. That's over. And even on our board, we saw the biggest amount of volume we had, Friday, and the largest amount of bookings Monday and Tuesday of this week. So things are starting to open back up with all those opportunities out there and carriers back out on the roads, looking for stuff to get on their trucks. I would say right now there's still a few states that some of our dealers are having issues getting out of. So if you are buying from different auctions out of these different states, be on the lookout for this. Florida is by far the biggest standout. It's the most imbalanced market in our network by a wide margin. Over 11 vehicles leaving for every one coming in, with outpricing around 162% to just get units out compared to what's going in. Carriers are looking for anything to get back into Florida. Problem is there's not a lot of opportunities for that, but there's so many opportunities to come out. So you're almost paying for like a round trip because they just can't get back into the state, which is obviously causing a huge increase in the demand to get those units out of Florida. Other states that were having some issues in California, Arizona, New Jersey, Arizona being another one of those vacation states where I imagine there's a lot of personal units trying to get back out. And then California, New Jersey, very high diesel fuel prices at this moment. So just to give you a little heads up there. Dealers buying inventory and bringing it into the Midwest are in the strongest position right now. Carriers are actively repositioning to Missouri, Kansas, Ohio, Arkansas, which means more capacity and more competitive bids on those inbound lanes. Now, what's happening on the fuel cost side of this week, diesel hasn't slowed down. It's stabilized at a pretty high level. The average rate per mile is about 34% up year over year, driven largely by these large diesel prices, obviously. Great Lakes, Upper Midwest, Central Plains are still holding around $5.75 a gallon after that last week's spike. And we can see that carriers are pricing that into their bids, and they're starting to decline bids if a better offer comes. So increase your rate to get your vehicles moved, especially as these summer months roll in and vacation days start to increase. On the West Coast, diesel is still sitting around $6.57 a gallon, about 17% higher than the national average. That spread is what's really driving lane by lane volatility right now. And one more reminder that Memorial Day is on Monday. This means reduced carrier availability starting early this weekend. If you need vehicles moved before the holiday, get them posted as soon as possible. Remember, too, operation hours are always a little screwy. So if you can update your own operation hours to help these carriers out so they're not showing and dry running, things like that, just to try to help it be the most efficient possible during this time. Also, be vigilant around these Memorial Day weekends. Fraudsters truly take advantage of these holiday times, and they know not everybody's around, and people might have their guard down a little bit. So this is one of those times where if you're not using Auto Hauler Exchange, don't be sending out those passes to people that aren't double and triple checked, because you'd hate to come back from vacation and a vehicle disappearing from auction. As always, keep an eye out here for next week's market update to stay on top of your vehicle transport trends and get your vehicles moving quickly, because time is money.